Janet, I have good news. Huh? Susan, what's up? I've decided to move. Moving? Yes. I've been living alone for a long time, right? But now I'm going to have a lively life. Well, Janet, please prepare a room for me. What? If you can, make sure it's a room that gets a lot of sunlight. I get cold easily. Wait a minute, please. Susan, are you trying to move in? Yes. What's the good news in that? I said no to you moving in. What? You're the only one who said you didn't want to live together. I don't have time to listen to my daughter-in-law. Bob agrees with me. Even you agreed to it, didn't you? You. Janet, are you really Bob's wife? Huh? If you know how Bob, my son, feels, you wouldn't have come to that conclusion, would you? What do you mean? You are really dumb, aren't you? He's just being nice and holding back. Because you are whining that you don't want to live with me. Bob is just trying to save face. You simply took him at his word. And you don't even try to understand Bob's true feelings. Aren't you an unfit wife? That's not true. We talked it over when we got married. We couldn't live with you. No, you just forced your opinion on Bob. Poor Bob. He really wanted to live with me, but he didn't want to get into trouble with you. I guess he had to reluctantly go along with you. That's not true. You're so selfish, pushing your own opinion, and you can't even think about your husband and your mother-in-law. It's been a year since you got married, and you still don't seem to have enough awareness of what it means to be a wife. Letting your husband take priority is one of the requirements to be a good wife. You need to learn to be a little more humble. Huh? But still, that's way too sudden. Why did you suddenly decide to move? A contract with my apartment is about to expire. To renew the contract, you have to pay the renewal fee. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to move out and move in with you guys. You don't have to be stingy with the renewal fee. What are you talking about? It's a big burden for a pensioner. Besides, you live in such a big house. I, the mother, have to live in a small apartment. It's just not right, is it? That being said, you have to keep your promise. Janet, please stop it. You are Bob's wife, right? Yes, but... Being Bob's wife means it's as if you became my daughter. As a daughter, it's natural to take care of your parents, right? Yes, it is. That's why we sometimes visit your apartment. We eat together and I help you with the housework. You think that's enough? Well... You must think it's insane to let an old mother live alone. What if I collapse in my apartment? And if it's too late to find me and the worst happens, it'd be your responsibility. No. You'll be fine. Bob told me that your health checkup last month was very good. You can't rely on medical checkups. You never know what might happen to an old person. No matter how healthy you are, you might trip on a step and fall. You can't keep talking about being old just because you want to move in. You often boast about how young you look, don't you? And you get so angry when people treat you like an old person. That's not what I'm talking about. Oh, I can't get anywhere talking to you. No matter what you say, we are going to live together. Even if you say so, we don't even have an empty room. Don't lie to me. It's such a big house. I'm sure there are plenty of empty rooms. They're all occupied. Well then, I'll take your room. What? How inappropriate for a wife to have her own room. No. I sometimes work remotely. I need my own workroom. Is that the trendy remote work thing? You're so sassy to work at home, even though you're a woman. Yeah, well, what you're saying is messed up. Remote work has nothing to do with gender. Don't pick a fight at every turn. I mean, we live in a house. Ugh! Shut up! Talking to you irritates me. Susan? Yes, this is the end of my chat with you. If you send me any more texts, I'll ignore them. Well then, excuse me. Bob, is this a good time? Sorry if you're still at work. It's okay. I just got off work and I'm on the train. What's up? I just got a call from Susan. Mom? I guess she still hasn't given up on the idea of moving in together. Seriously? I told her when we got married that we weren't going to live together. I thought we explained to her why we couldn't live together. But she still wanted to live with us. So I tried to explain the situation again. But she ended the conversation one-sidedly. Right. It's like she doesn't want to hear what I have to say. Was I wrong to say that? No, it's not your fault. Mom has always been self-centered. She's always yelling and trying to get her way. Sometimes she cries, sometimes she rants. That's why my dad got fed up with her and they divorced. Yeah. I'll talk to her again. I'll tell her we can't live with her. That will be great. I'm afraid she's going to try to force us to move in with her someday. I'm sorry. My mom's selfishness got us into a lot of trouble. No problem. I'm grateful to you. I'm the one who asked you to listen to my selfishness when we got married. That's not true. We decided on this together, didn't we? I'm almost at the station. Let's talk about it when I get home. Yeah, come home safely. Janet, today is Sunday, so you're off work, right? I'm off. What about it? The weather is nice and it's a wonderful day to move in. Huh? What are you talking about? I'm moving there today. No, wait. I told you many times that we don't want to live with you. But I already sent you my stuff. Please don't reject it. Oh no. Thank goodness. Now I can live comfortably starting today. You can't just send your stuff to us. Oh, yeah, you'll get about 10 cardboard boxes on delivery. You'll take care of the payment there. What are you doing? We don't have room for 10 boxes. Why don't you just pile them up in the hallway? I'll be out of here by noon. Then I'll put my stuff in my room and clean up. Your room? We don't have a room for you. Oh, no. You haven't prepared a room for me yet? Isn't it obvious? Neither Bob nor I have agreed to live with you. Well then, please put the boxes in your room for now. It's going to be my room sooner or later. I don't want to. You know, why are you being so mean to me? You live in such a big house. You should have at least one extra room. And just because you don't want me to live with you, You lied about all the rooms being occupied. We live with my parents. What? My parents, Bob and I, the four of us live together. What? What's that? You're living with your parents? Since when? We've been living together since the beginning of our marriage. That's a lie. I told you before. I can't believe it. You refuse to live with me, but you let your own parents live with you? No, it's not that I'm letting my parents to live with us. You're such a lousy wife. Mom, that's enough. What? All of a sudden? It's me. It's Bob. Bob? I've been sitting next to Janet reading your texts to each other. That's good. Huh? Poor Bob. You really want to live with me, but Janet's selfishness kept you away from me. And then she made you live with her parents? What? What's that? I've been telling you all along that I agree with Janet. I told you repeatedly that I don't want to live with you. Bob, it's okay. Huh? You don't have to hold back for her anymore. You've put up with enough. Huh? What are you talking about? Come on, just say it already. You really want to live with me, your mother. No. What are you really saying? I'm scared. My point is, don't be shy with Janet. Reveal your true feelings. You are the owner of the house. There is no reason for you to hold back in your own home. Huh? Janet, you're so brazen. Your parents are just as brazen as you. Trying to force Bob to live with your parents just because he's so nice. I wonder if parents and children have similar personalities after all. Wait a minute. What? Mom, could it be? Do you think I'm the owner of this house? What? Yes, I do. Aren't you? I was so surprised when I saw your new house. You bought such a big house right after you got married. I'm so proud of you. I knew it. I knew it. No, I'm not. What do you mean? This house is Janet's parents' house. Janet's parents' house? That's right. That's why her parents live here together. You're lying about this being her parents' house. It's such a new house. It looked like a new house. I think it's because they did some major renovations shortly before Janet and I got married. Remodeling? Janet's father fell ill a few years ago. Due to the after effects, he became wheelchair-bound. So they made the house barrier-free. It's hard for her mother to take care of her father by herself. So we decided to move in together. Oh, is that right? That's why the house is in her father's name. No matter how big a company I work for, there's no way we can afford a house this big, this early in our marriage. Didn't I explain everything to you when I married Janet? I'm sure Janet told you that too. Did she? I'm so stunned. You don't remember anything that doesn't suit you. You were so excited about the house. You complimented me on how great it was. I told you that this was Janet's father's house. I told you that Janet's parents and you couldn't live together. So I asked you to live in an apartment. You were going to stay in the apartment. Janet and I would visit you from time to time. Oh, wait a minute. So you are forced to take care of her father? Janet is such a terrible wife. Forcing you to live with her own parents and then forcing you to take care of them. You know what? Don't say Janet forced me to live with her parents. I decided to move in with her parents after a thorough discussion with Janet. But he only has a limp, but he can eat and use the restroom normally. Usually her mother takes care of him. Janet and I just help out a little. But I'm still not convinced. She came here to marry into our family. But she only takes care of her own parents. I can't forgive her for taking care of her own parents and leaving me alone. As a wife, she should put her husband's parents before her own parents. That's why I don't want to live with you. What do you mean? You don't want to live with your mother? If we live with you, you'll force your old values on us. We'll be stressed out. Stress? It's really stressful when the loudest voice is the one who doesn't agree with our values. That's why, if your package comes, I'll send it back. What? Well, I'm not living with you? I told you from the beginning that we don't want to live with you. Besides, even if we did live together, can you work or help take care of him? What? Why would I have to do that? It's only natural if we live together. But I have a pension, so I don't have to work. I don't want to take care of a stranger, even if he is my son's father-in-law. There's no merit in living with such an unemployed spender. An unemployed spender, you say? How dare you say that to your own mother? I know why you want to live with us. What? When you and Dad divorced, you got all the money from the property division. You spent it all, didn't you? What? The pension is coming in regularly. But at the rate you're spending it, it's not enough. So you are planning to stay at our house and have us take care of your food, clothing, and shelter. And then pour all of the pension money into fun, right? That's... You know, Mom, do you understand that I married into her family? Huh? You forgot? I thought it was weird. This time too, but the last few times you've sent me a parcel, it's been under my bachelor name. You know, you married into her family. Why? You were the reason, and you just forgot about it? What? Me? When you and Dad divorced, Zach thought you'd be worried about living alone. I think you snubbed his wife who agreed to live with you out of love for your son. No. He got mad and told you to move out and kicked you out, didn't he? Well, you see... That's why you had to live alone in a small apartment. When I got married, you wanted to move in with me this time. But I've seen what happened to my brother, so I said I'd never move in with you. That's what I declared when we got married. Also, Janet is the only daughter of an old family. So I'll take her last name. I told you that. That's how you got to where you are now. Huh? You seem to be against me changing my last name at first. Zach took over our family name. Our family has 2 boys. You reluctantly agreed to let me take her last name. Is that so? It was a year ago, so I forgot. You really don't remember everything that's inconvenient, do you? Anyway, I'll send back all of your stuff that's on its way here. Wait a minute. Why? You know I can't live with you. No, I mean, this apartment, I have to leave at the end of the month. You didn't renew your lease? I can't afford the renewal fee. You can afford to move out. It can't be helped. I have very little savings left. If I pay the renewal fee, I won't be able to move out. Oh. So I have no choice but to move in there. I don't need my own room. Just let me put my stuff there for now. Mike should be there soon. Who's Mike? Your brother, Uncle Mike. Mike? I expected this would happen. I've been talking to him about you for a while. When you texted Janet, I called him in a hurry. He said he'd be right over. Wait a minute. I don't like Mike. He's been so strict with me since we were kids. He'd yell at me for being selfish. I never wanted to see him again. That's why I asked Uncle Mike to help me. He's the only one who can make my pushy, selfish mom do what he says. He said he'll take you in, so wait there. No, absolutely not. If I live with him, the stress will drive me crazy. You're lucky you have a place to live. I'll see you later. Wait for me, Bob. Shortly after this, Bob's uncle arrived at Susan's apartment. It seems that his uncle put the crying Susan in his car and took her to the countryside where he lived. He made her do housework and work in the fields. She is so exhausted every day that she doesn't have time to complain. Sometimes she texts to complain to her son Bob. Bob has decided not to deal with Susan until she's completely remorseful. As for me, I am living a peaceful life with Bob and my parents. Bob and my father seem to get along well, and they often enjoy drinking and talking together. Seeing such a scene makes me feel happy from the bottom of my heart, and I am glad I married him.